Hello my beautiful friends, I am That Plumber Rob and welcome back to my channel. So today we are converting the Waterside Warble karaoke bar in San Myshuno into a apartment complex which will consist of 4 apartments. So the reason I wanted to do this build is because I haven't really explored many of the pre-made builds in all of the cities, well, all of the worlds. So I thought, let's just have a look at some. So I went into San Myshuno, and when I go there, I only ever go to the skyscrapers and stuff. I never actually go to the ground, I guess. So I was just looking there, and then I found this really cool karaoke bar which doesn't have anything upstairs, and I thought that would be a perfect place to put some apartments. And I thought it would challenge me because I don't really do apartments in the game and I don't really do really small buildings, so I thought this would be an amazing way to test how well I can actually make some really small rooms and manage my space really well. It also means that I don't have to do any landscaping because you all know I am shocking when it comes to landscaping. So what I did is I just renovated all the downstairs, just decluttered it, just gutted it all out, and I turned the 2 of the karaoke rooms into a laundrette, which I thought would make sense. Originally I went for this pastel pink and blue, and then I was actually I really hate this, so what I do is I change it up and make it black and yellow, and I thought it could be called bubble bees or something. Instead of bumblebees, bubble bees laundromat, so anyone can use it, but it's mainly for the residents. I also made just a couple of toilets downstairs. Again, I was going for this pink and green pastel look, and then I was I ain't feeling this at all, so I thought I'd just carry that on with the whole yellow and black look. And then all the downstairs, I just wanted it to have this really up and coming modern pop-up vibe, so I just added all these massive statues and just sized everything up and just gave them some really cool colours. It was inspired by this hotel I went to in Dusseldorf once, which I think it had this giant bright yellow zebra in there and a massive giraffe and stuff, so I just that was my inspiration. I also used some of the platform tool just to create this nice sort of step up in the foyer, which I think worked out really well. It also meant that because I kept most of it on this sort of 3 levels higher, the stairway fit a lot nicer in the building, so that was one of the reasons I did it, but it turned out quite well. Also, I found out the perfect trick to stop platforms from messing up, and that is put your walls down first and then you just lift up the floor and then just delete the walls instead of deleting all the walls that are already there, and then it just takes so much longer. Yeah, I love how downstairs turned out. It has this really cool modern industrial vibe, and then I painted all of the pipes as well because I wanted to keep all the stuff there, so it does just feel like a small renovation instead of them I'm imagining they wouldn't want to spend loads of money converting it. So I tried to keep some little things in there already, and that statue with the red hat, I put that there because I thought it could be called the red hat apartment block or something, because I changed the roof to also be red, so I thought it would bring the whole red roof into the thing. That was my thought process, but yeah. Anyway, I am just changing a few things in the downstairs because I realised I didn't like some of the floorings and stuff, and I added some obviously hand sanitizer because we need to make sure no one is getting any viruses. And yeah, this bit when I start doing the stairs was such a pain. So what I did is I ended up making 3 versions of the same stairs, and it took me ages to decide which one I wanted. Like, I was like, do I want to go this way? Do I want it this way? Do I want it this way? Because I was trying to make the most of the space that I had upstairs, and I didn't want to use too many tiles just on the stairs. So I think I found the most, what's the word? I can't even think of the word. Like, I made the most of the space that I had. Anyway, here are the 4 apartments that I made, and I'm just like going through and trying to like count how many tiles, because I didn't want any to be too big or too small. And I really wanted to make one of them a micro apartment, which I know is 32 tiles, and the most I could get it to was 34 tiles. So I've got it all written down here. So the bottom left room was 38 tiles. Then the top left room is 44 tiles. The top right room is 34 tiles, and then the bottom right room is 36 tiles. So when I went in to actually do the builds for each one, when I went in, I wanted to sort of make my life easier as I went along. So the first one, I went for like the smallest, so I went like 34, 36, 38, then 44. Just so it sort of gives me a fighting chance. Although I felt like with the first room, I sort of like wasn't like vibing with it at the start, and I was sort of like, oh, what am I doing? So it's probably like my least favourite, even though I do kind of like the style of it. I'd kind of like to go through and maybe change up a few little things. I was also trying to decide what I wanted each person to like do, because I always like, I wanted them to each have like a skill. So at the start I was like, do I want them to be like a beautician? Do I want them to be an artist? And then I think I just went with like photographer, because I was like, it's the easiest thing to put like a skill build. By the way, the toilet, you won't see me like redoing the toilet loads, because what I did to make my life a little bit easier is I just copy and pasted each like bathroom for each apartment, except for the final one, which was like a little bit bigger. Just because it was such a ball ache trying to make everything fit into like the one room. So I did have to get like a sim to go in. So I was like, when I had one that worked perfectly, I would just like copy, paste, just because I just wanted to save as much time as I could. What I do like in this room is with that bookshelf as well, I sort of like moved it a little bit to fit the bin, which I thought like seemed a bit more like realistic, because like they might have just been like, oh, let's just knock that, I need to fit stuff in. So that's what I ended up doing with that room. I also ended up changing all the blinds at the end, but you don't see that because it was just adding so much time, and I didn't want to then just keep skipping back to the same room, so I just did all that off the camera. But you will see that when I do the final tour, and I think I'm just adding the final touches. Just want to add a few little bits of clutter, and then I go on to the second room. So this room is 36 tiles, and with this one I wanted them to be quite sporty. So I don't know if maybe they're a coach or they're like trying to train to be an athlete. Maybe they've just like moved to San Myshuno, and I don't know, they're part of like the San Myshuno Scorpions or whatever. I don't know what the football team would be in San Myshuno. Yeah, I just want to give it a bit more of a grungy sort of vibe, a bit more lived in, a few more like darker colours. And I loved how this one turned out. I was having some problems with that wardrobe though, and then I thought, do you know what, if I just like use that as like another wall, then it kind of like worked out a little bit better. Yeah, I do like this one. It's not my favourite. Like the next one's my favourite. Like I absolutely love the next one, but it's definitely up there. And I also want to make some Sims to actually play in here. And like it should all be playable, by the way. You can, if you want, make 4. I think you could have 5 Sims maximum. I think in the last house, well, in the last apartment, it is a double bed. So you could have 5 Sims. All you gotta do is just like lock the front doors and just like allow that person to go, and then you can play it like an apartment, or you could just, I don't know, you can demolish them or anything. But it was a really fun challenge to try and get them all fit and everything. Anyway, on to my favourite apartment. So I love this one. I love the colours. I went for a lot of movie hangout. I went for, like movie hangout, a lot of like city living. I just wanted to go like really bright because I feel like the last two were like so dark and so white that I was like, I need some colour in my life. So this one, I was just like, let's go teal, let's go purple, let's go orange, let's just throw every single colour into this one. And I love this one so much. It's definitely my favourite, and if I do make a sim, this will be the apartment that I want to use the most. So I imagined that it would be either an actor or a comedian living here, like they're just so full of life. I feel like maybe it's like a Jamaican comedian or something, and she just came over here and she's just like an up and coming comedian, and yeah, that's like the vibe that I've got from this room, and I think she'd be like such a fun character to play. Or maybe like, I could imagine like Delaney. So if you ever watch my Big Brother series, I could totally imagine like Delaney living here, like this would be her studio apartment, just because of all like the bright colours that she's got going on. Like, she was like a fashion designer. If you haven't watched my Big Brother show, then you probably have no idea what I'm talking about, but yeah, definitely get some like Delaney vibes going on in this one. And you'll also see with the hood cooker, whatever you call it, I put it halfway through the wall so that it would save space, because I don't like how they stick out so much. So I thought if I just pull it halfway through, I can use that in the next apartment as well. The only problem is it sort of limited a bit of my colour scheme, because I then felt like I then had to go with the copper vibe and sort of have a similar vibe, and at the start it felt like I was, and then I had to like start changing it, but I was happy with how it turned out. Anyway, this is this third apartment done, which again I think is 38 tiles big. Now on to the final apartment. This is 44 tiles wide. It's definitely the biggest. I was led into like a false sense of security with this one though, because I thought I've got so many more tiles, I can like add a double bed, I can like make a bigger bathroom, and then I was like so stumped with how I actually wanted to do the layout, because I'd forced myself to have the kitchen here, and I was just like, I've stuck myself in like a really difficult like predicament here with where I'm going to put stuff. But I eventually figured it out. Like, I gave everything like a bit of a rejiggle halfway through, and yeah, it turned out so much better than I thought. I also wanted to give each apartment like a rug that would sort of match the theme of each room as well, which sort of helped. I think, I don't know if it was, there's another simmer, her name is, I think it's Not Maria on Twitter. I think it's also on YouTube. Anyway, hi Not Maria. She did this build. It was like an old person's home, and then I think she put like rugs in, and then she like matched the stuff to the rugs, and I thought that was a really clever idea. So I have like taken that idea. I think she did that. Oh, I think you did that if you're watching this. But correct me if I'm wrong. But I think she did. I thought that was a really cool idea. Anyway, so yeah, I was originally going to go for some sort of like similar colours to the other room, because I did that with like the bed. I originally went like the purple and yellow, and I was like, no, you're too much like the other apartment. So I thought I'll make it sort of like a slightly older person. So I feel like this person will be like their mid-30s. And they're like, yeah, they play guitar, and they are also an artist, but I think they're mainly a guitar player. I loved how this one turned out. It had a bit more of like a natural sort of vibe with all the plants and the sort of earthy tones, and I really liked how that dark green went with like the bright orange, and yeah, I think it turns out pretty well in the end, considering us having loads and loads of issues with it at the start. And yeah, I really hope that you have liked this build, and I hope you have liked my little talk about it. And yeah, I think I'm going to leave you all there, and I will head over to the quick tour now. Yeah, feel free to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Please feel free to leave a like, and please leave a comment below on which apartment is your favourite, and also let me know if there's anything else you'd like me to do in the future. Anyway, I'll see all of you beautiful, wonderful, amazing people next time. Take care. Bye.